And look at January and March. March is spring, and then January, yes, and then January is like winter. We have a place where nothing grows. We have a place where it's hell. It's literally hell. So moving from January to March, that is where February is. So February is literally the end. Where the endings happen. And that is what I'm going to talk to you about the most. So February is the month of the lymphatic system, which is petrol. Somebody has already said it in the comment section that February is believing in yourself. So February is the month of lymphatic system, of which next week, or not next week, on Wednesday, I'll be talking to you guys about what lymphatic system is and how to utilize it. But lymphatic system is literally just superficially talking about it. Lymphatic system helps fight against the states of disease. So now, the month of February is all about antibodies and self-defense against disease. So this is the last month. So a lot of people, you might be a spiritual individual and people did you dirty last year. And these people have not yet paid. You're just seeing them enjoying their lives. Now I'm here to tell you that February is where they're gonna be meeting the devil. February is where it is restriction is happening. Everything that is not supposed to cross over to the next year is dying in February. Kindly, if I'm talking loudly, it's because the Spirit wants me to talk loudly. Allow me. So now the month of February is all about antibody and self-defense against diseases. Now February is the month when self-knowledge transitions into self-belief. In order to fuel authenticity in March. Now, the numerology of February is identical. This year in 2025, the numerology of February is identical to that one of March. If you look at it, March, when March is starting, March starts on a Saturday. February starts on a Saturday too. Sunday is second in February and Sunday is second in March. Monday is third in February and Monday is third in March. So the numerology between February and is like almost like February of this month of this month is identical to a set of this month. So a lot of things, the way you're going to pass through February is going to be identical to how you're going to pass through March. So be very careful in how you're handling February. But I'm going to tell you where you will belong, because some of us belong in the northern hemisphere and some of us belong in the southern hemisphere. I'm entering February with a sickness. My dear, yeah. What did you do in September? How was your September, my dear? But anyway, let me keep on speaking. This is one of the reasons why the maps were turned upside down. Because history books used to say it as it is. History books would tell you that north is heaven and south is hell. So when the white man saw that, he said, oh, they're saying the north is heaven and south is hell. Let's turn it upside down. So now north is heaven, our place, and south is hell, their place. So that is what happened. Those are the politics. But those are just politics, which is unnecessary right now because right now we are so mixed. We have people who are demonic that live in the northern hemisphere, and we have people who are angelic that live in the southern hemisphere. So that is the reason why I'm telling you, don't look at through the map. I'm just mentioning the map so that you know where the ideology comes from. September was beautiful, it was magical. I can say it was the best month of 2024. Then the reason why you're getting into a state of disease in February doesn't make sense. But then maybe you are in disease because your body is upgrading. I always say that sometimes pain does not mean a terrible thing. Sometimes pain is a form of upgrade, and that is up to you to know as an individual. Because you should know yourself better than anyone. But numerologically, if you had a great September, then your February should be great. If you had a great September, your February should be great. But anyway, let me continue. So now, February has on February 12th. Maybe I only write astrological dates that I think are important to women. Mimi, I write only because you will hear people saying that all planets are aligned or whatever. Mimi, those ones I don't think they are important to women. Now the full moons in February. The full moon in February and the new moon are the most important to women, according to me. So those are the things that I'm marking, and those are the things that I'm going to tell you. So we have the February full moon, which is happening on 12th of February. And this full moon occurs, the full moon generally occurs when in tuition, when the moon is located on the opposite side of Earth, which is reality. So listen to me in your brain. Full moon occurs when the moon, which is intuition, is located on the opposite side of reality as the sun. It's located on the opposite side of the earth as the sun. So when the earth, the sun and the moon are aligned, then that is what we call what? The full moon. So full moon, literally spiritually speaking, full moon is when intuition is located on the opposite side of reality as the sun, making the face of each. Is getting my point on what happens in the full moon. During full moon is when all your ancestors are with you. So when you look at, so intuition makes you spiritually strong. Yes, of course you're spiritually strong when all ancestors are present. During the new moon, it's just you. During the new moon, it's just you. And this is why we always say it is very easy to observe things for what they truly are in a particular timeline during the new moon, because there is no access that covering or veiling them up. But during the full moon, it is you plus all your ancestors. Now during the new moon, it's just you. Up to that point, are we together, guys? Do you comprehend what the full moon is and what the new moon is? The new moon is just you. The new moon is just me. When you observe me during the new moon, you are just observing my temporal consciousness. When you observe me during the new moon, you are just observing me plus my age. When I observe, like let's say, when I observe Sisi during the new moon and maybe Sisi is 18 years old, then I will see an 18-year-old only. But when I observe Sisi during the new moon, I will see Sisi, I will see answers that were 1,000 years old. Some of them are 20 years old, some of them are infinite. So during the full moon, you can't see people for what they truly are. You see them for what their ancestors were. While during the new moon, you see people for what they truly are without the veil of what their ancestors were. So if you want to see people for what they truly are, never look at them during the full moon. You will be looking at all their ancestors. Well, when you look at them during the new moon, you will see them for what they truly are. So those are some of the spiritual things that you should be walking around with, knowing that, oh, when I look at Srivinyankana during the new moon, oh, this one is just her. That's just me. When you see me during the new moon, it's just me. When you see me during the full moon, it's not me alone. I have Nogada somewhere with me. I have Gogo somewhere with me. I have all my ancestors from Kabosh. I'm talking to you and are within you, looking at you. But then when you look at me during the new moon, it's just me. Now, February, the February moon is known twice. It has two names. The first name it is called the ice moon in the southern hemisphere. Among the sinners. Among the sinners, this moon is the ice moon. It's called moon. It is the snow moon. It brings hell. While in the northern hemisphere, and guys, when I'm talking about the northern and southern hemisphere, some people will confuse because the Google will tell you that northern hemisphere is Europe, and Google will tell you that southern hemisphere is South Africa. But the reality is that, but when maps are the way they are below the equator is South Africa. So, I thought you were getting what I'm saying. Why were they called demonic spirits? Because there were people who had no respect for God. So right now, there are people who live in the northern hemisphere, but they live in Europe. They live in that cold, but they are in the northern hemisphere, meaning they respect God. And then there are people who live in countries like South Africa, but are still demonic. That's why you find to nowadays South Africa knows. There are people who live in South Africa today and they are still demonic. So they are in the northern hemisphere, but their soul is southern hemisphere. I hope you get what I'm trying to say, because it's supposed to make sense to you.
Yes.
When it comes to the ice moon. So now, February full moon is called the ice moon, the snow moon, whatever, in the northern hemisphere, due to the heavy snow that falls in the southern hemisphere, which is the true south, which is the true hell.
No, man, no, man.
During this time. So now, let's continue.
You understand me?
In the true, right now, guys, like, remember we are the ones in charge of climate. We are the ones in charge of nudes. The way we live is the way it's what affects the environment. So even our planet has changed. The way our planet is today, trace the climate and the weather of the planet throughout history. You will realize that the way we live today, strange things are starting to happen. Even Kenya is starting to snow today, but that is something that was never happening during history, in history. So a lot of things have changed today We have the Sahara Desert is a desert today, and
I have to wait for that?
never a desert
No,
in
no, 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 no. I'm gonna give it easy.
Why? Because a lot of things have changed, and because human beings have changed too. Populations have changed too. Migrations have occurred. So right now, this is the reason why I want to start teaching by telling people, for you to know by yourself.
He's home.
Do you belong to North or do you belong to South?
He wasn't home. He went on
You need to know by yourself. You need to know if your location will not dictate it. You need to know as an individual. Do you respect
Right.
God?
Okay.
If you respect God and God is your
Okay, so I'm going to give it easy.
body, do you listen to your body? Do you
If
respect
you doubt anything,
God?
just call me.
Do you follow the instructions of your body? Do you support your body? Then you are not. And then people who do not, sometimes you can live in the same house and you are not hemisphere type of person and your mother is a southern hemisphere type of person. That is the reality that we live in right now, and I want you to get into it, because right now the geographical, cartographical dictatorship doesn't work. It doesn't dictate accurately, because a lot of things have changed. People have mingled. South Africa right now has albedo people there. That is changing the weather there. It has changed. It will not make it into March. If you're somebody who you live against your body, you're going to be starved. In the full moon of 12th February, it's going to starve you until you die, until that part of you that is pulling you down, until that part of you that is demonic, it is going to die on February. So people who are angelic, I want to tell you that I know when people are being demonic, it affects angelic people. When you are an angelic individual and your mother is being demonic, it affects you. When you are an angelic individual and your partner is being demonic, it affects you. But then that effect is going to end in February 12th, because these people are going to start getting very starved. Those who live in the truth south, which is hell, those who live in the southern hemisphere live in hell, while those who live in the northern hemisphere live in what? In heaven. The cold ice moon of February brings hell upon those that live in the south by sin. Those who live in hell, and brings movement and fertility after the scorching sun and stagnation to those that live north by integrity and godliness. So maybe you're somebody who you live north and you've been wondering, hey, when is a breakthrough happening? When is something happening? When is spring occurring? You're going to start feeling that spring from the full moon of February 12th. From February 12th, if you're somebody who has been holding on, it's been tough. Because guess what? The January full moon empowered. It was a last empowerment to the demonics. And it was a last empowerment also to the angelics, to hold on to the angelicness. And it was a last empowerment for the demonics to hold on to their demonicness. Now, February full moon is going to scatter the demonics and give power to the angelics. Now, the February full moon brings rewards to those who live their lives respecting boundaries and help them to stand tall against adversities, while it pushes and brings hunger and starvation to those that hunted and posed danger toward the anointed people of God since September. So remember the last planting season was September. Since in September, certain people started planting demonic shit, while others were planting angelic stuff. Those that planted demonic shit in September, this February, they're going to reap demonic shit that is going to clear them off. So snow is going to cover hell. And when snow covers hell, everything gets suffocated so much that the world remains clean and white before spring comes about. Are you getting where I'm driving at? Is somebody at least getting what I'm meaning when I read? Their bodies expect them to either repent completely so that they start afresh, or they'll just die off and go into silence and have zero Osiris, especially if they were loud. Now, February full moon ensures death of all demonics, while all that is angelic prepare the seeds that will start to spring in March and April. So usually from September to February, if you are an angelic individual, it's never easy. It's not always an easy time. It's not always an easy time. But then from March, now things are going to start being easy. And it is going to start beginning little in February, from February 12th, from the February full moon. Up to that point, are we together? What is the second name? It has a lot of names. Everyone has a name for it. Different people have their own different names for it. But at the core of it is that to some people it brings death, and to some people it brings life. So people in the northern hemisphere, they called it life names, while people in the southern hemisphere, they called it death name. So every tribe gives it a name according to their own weather, according to how, because remember we don't share weather. People in East Africa don't share weather with people in Australia, and they don't share weather with people in Europe. So people in Europe will have a different name for their moon. East Africans will have a different name.
15, 16, 14.
Australians, China will have a different name.
No, not into the
according to their own weather and according to how it's affecting them. Personally, I've explained to you the northern and the southern hemisphere only. Remember that we have north, south, east, and west. So I've explained to you north and south, which is, I feel like it's the most important. I'm going to continue. February 28th, we have the new moon. The new moon occurs when intuition is located on the same side of reality as the sun. And the intuition, which is the moon, cannot therefore be seen or told apart from memory in the dream world or in the night sky. So during the new moon, just like I told you, during the new moon is when things are for what they really are in the temporary consciousness. Meaning you can see them for what they truly are without ancestral covering. In the new moon is when you see people for what they truly are without ancestral covering. In the full moon you see people with their ancestral coverings. So some ancestral here is track your finances and track the months when your finances are lowest. The months when your finances are lowest, save towards those months. Don't get into those months careless with your finances. If you know that your finances were very low in June, make sure by April or even by March you start saving, so that by the time June is there, then you don't get so much affected. Because remember, when your finances are low, your spirituality is also low. So you want to save so that you are not affected. I hope somebody is getting my point. So be somebody who you save for the months that are low. Because trust me, that if last year June was your lowest month, this year June will be your lowest month as well. But then you can change that by making sure that you save towards it, so much that by the time you are in June, you even end up with more money than you had last year. And that is how you break that cycle. You break that cycle by making sure that you save towards that particular month, so that when that month is there, now the money that is in your account, if last year you had 0, then you make sure that this year at least you have 10 in your account. It breaks that cycle of 0. So work with numerology as well. Don't be careless. Don't just walk blinded. Now those are the yes, Sisi. So those are the what I wanted to tell you. February, there's not so much that is going to go on apart from just the angelics being rewarded, so that they start a new year beautifully, and the demonics being taken away from, so that they start a new year with lessons and misery. And look, you can already feel, if you're a demonic spirit, you can already feel it is tough, and it is going to get tougher. Know that if you are a demonic spirit, it is going to get tough for you. But that toughness is just the universe being a teacher. Asiyefunzwa na mzazi hufunzwa na ulimwengu. Asiyefunzwa na mwili yake hufunzwa na ulimwengu. Asiyesikia mwili yake, whoever doesn't listen to their own body will be taught by the universe. The multiverse will teach you. If you choose to disrespect your own body, if you choose to disrespect the inner authority, then the universe is the one that is now going to teach you. And the universe teaching is not so nice. It's like nilotic. It's cruel. The universe will will make sure that you shed tears, especially if you make other people to shed tears. So just know about how you want your life to be in Canaan. What's after Egypt? Egypt is slavery. So let me explain to Serena, because Serena seems to have not been here when I was talking about Egypt. When a child is born, a child spends year 1 up to year 12. When Jupiter returns, Jupiter is the planet of expansion. Jupiter returns at 12 years of age, when the child, at age 1 up to age 12, the child is under the care of their parents. They absorb everything their parents give them. The discipline of their parents is what they absorb. The wealth of their parents is what they absorb. The thinking of their parents is what they absorb. The beliefs, the religion is what they absorb. And then from ages 13, Jupiter comes and starts to make this child to start questioning. Is my parents right? Is this religion right? That's the when Jupiter comes to trigger that particular rebellion, to make the child start developing their own autonomy. From ages 12 up to 24, that is Jupiter has made a complete stand, which is intuition and memory. So now from at ages 24, the child is ready to leave their parents' spirituality, to leave their parents' way of thinking, to leave their parents' wealth, to leave their parents' home, to go into the wilderness and start on their own. So this time when they go to the wilderness and start on their own is what we call their living Egypt. You being under the care of your parents means you are in Egypt, you are a slave. Because a child belongs to their parents. You cannot go and tell a child that rebel at the age of 20 or at the age of 18 or at the age of 13. They belong to their parents. Their parents tell them what to do. Their parents tell them sit down, they sit down. The parents tell them stand up, they stand up. But that changes at the age of 24. At the age of 24, the child now starts saying, I am my own person. I can disagree with my parents. I can politically disagree. I can spiritually disagree. I can, financially disagree. I can sexually disagree and have my own autonomy. So that age, the child is moving from Egypt into the wilderness. And then from the wilderness, the child goes to Canaan. So that is the journey of humanity. That is the journey of every creature. Anything that has a birth, anything that is born, be it technology, be it Wi-Fi, be it an animal, everything follows that particular path. You own it. When you birth it, you own it up to the age of 24, and then it must leave. And when it leaves, it depends on how your relationship with this Ra, the eye of Virgo, the eye of Heru is the eye of Pisces. Yes, some people say in Egypt. The eye of Ra is the eye of analysis, while the eye of Heru is the eye of belief, self-belief. The eye of Heru is the eye of self-belief, and then the eye of Ra is the eye of analysis. Now, the eye of Ra sees all that is visible to your memory and temporary consciousness, while the eye of Heru sees all that is invisible to your memory and temporary consciousness, but visible to your intuition from a point of your authenticity. Today, by the time I'm done with this, I want you to see the eye of Ra clearly, so that when you even decide to draw a tattoo or you decide to get a jewelry about the eye of Ra, then you know what you have. Some people, they have these things and they don't know what they have, and sometimes when you don't know what you have, it can work against you. So the eye of Ra sees all that is invisible to your temporary consciousness. Remember the eye of Ra is the eye of Virgo. It is the eye of your stomach. Your stomach, when you are analyzing things,
I will find the rest. I will get the rest.
see, that is you using an eye. That's an eye.
So I can make those.
Anytime you do analysis, that's an eye
Call them and
you are using, you're seeing. And anytime you believe in yourself, that's also another eye. It's just that now the eye of Ra sees into temporal consciousness. It is only able to see the temporary energies that you've interacted with, what you've eaten. Only the energies that you've ingested, not the ones that your ancestors ingested. Not the ones that your future descendants. It's your spiritual digestive system. While the eye of Heru is empowered by your spiritual lymphatic system that is responsible for fighting states of diseases. The eye of Heru is the one that makes you ensures you move towards ease and away from disease. While the eye of Ra is empowered by your digestive system to help you analyze things from a temporal consciousness. Now, the eye of Ra, your right eye. The eye of Ra is your right eye. When you see these two, know that this is my left side. When you see these two dots, know that this is my left side, this is my right side. So the eye of Ra is your right eye. The eye of Ra, your right eye, is how you see the world, from how you have interacted with it previously, from memory. The eye of Ra is how you see the world from memory. Like, for example, yesterday you went and bought some food. It is recorded in your memory. You see, when you go back there, you will know, you will remember that because you know it, because you've been there before. So the eye of Ra is like a temporary memory from your temporary consciousness. Remember, you are existing. You have a temporary consciousness, and then you have an infinite consciousness. And then you have a consciousness that is observing the two. But let's talk about these two first. You have a temporary consciousness, which is your age. Your age is your temporary consciousness. Maybe you're 30 years old. Maybe you're 55 years old. Maybe you're 74 years old. Maybe you're 60 years old. That is your temporary consciousness. And then you have your infinite consciousness, which is the consciousness of your ancestors. When you started existing. Some people are 1,000,000 years old. Some people are only 100 years old. Some people are very recent, even their infinite consciousness is very recent. And then some people are very ancient. Their infinite consciousness goes deep into billions of years. So you will exist in those two. And the eye of Ra is the one that sees your age. Everything you ever seen from the time you were born up to your 56 years old. That's the eye of Ra. It's recorded in the eye of Ra. While everything your ancestors interacted with, since they were conceived, since they started existing, that is recorded in the eye of Heru.
All I want you to do for me.
So we have the eye of Heru and the eye of Ra. Let me continue. The eye of Ra is empowered by your spiritual digestive system, while the eye of Heru is empowered by
So I thought, why
your
say you were
spiritual
coming
digestive.
here to stay? So,
Set plays the role of removing the
Yeah.
eye of
Yeah.
Heru.
Society, and they're hosting their annual scientific meeting in
What did Set
at the office.
in May.
Set
Yes.
plant, dug
What time
out
now? 12
the
o'clock?
eye of Heru? Set dug out the
Oh,
infinite consciousness
so where
of
you
earth,
pick out? Same place where I keep?
destroyed the earth's history by
Oh, okay. So you want to come
erasing
before?
the infinite story of the original people. So you must know that the war between
Can't hear it.
Set and Heru. Set was born by
You break me up. I'm not hearing you.
Set. I mean, Heru was born by Set to fight Set
Yeah, I was
in
hearing
order
it.
to restore Osiris, or in order to sit in the throne of Osiris. So during the fight between knowledge
Yeah, yeah.
and belief, knowledge plunged
Well,
that
I'm not gonna be here for too long.
out the eye
so
of.
let me know in 10 to
of
15 minutes what you
belief.
do and I'll decide. Okay.
But then, guess what?
Alright.
The eye of Heru was magically restored by Hathor,
Right, that's true.
and it was this restoration that made the eye of Heru to be worshipped
Alright,
as a deity
nice of you.
of wholeness and.
Come, you do that
healing.
and I'll give you a call.
So I want you to look at that
What's your
in your mind.
I have your cell phone, that's right?
Yes, self-desire, that's the vagina.
Alright, it's 12 o'clock now.
So I'm going to teach you how Hathor did that. But let me continue. The use of the
File load away.
eye of Heru as amulets and jewelry symbolize the infinite vision, or rather the ability to see all at once.
This is 19, you know.
In ancient Africa, they referred to people with this gift as seers or prophets. Seers and prophets
19 and
are people whose eye of Heru is fully functional,
Alright, so
meaning they can see clearly into the past.
she have to be here today.
Can see clearly into the
the
future. Those are the people you call prophets, and those are the people that are called seers
That I finished with?
in ancient African
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
mythology.
that's right.
In our world, we have the past,
Okay, sounds good.
the present, and the future. Now the eye of Ra can see clearly into
Just call me, not a problem.
the present, but the eye of Heru
All right, thank you.
can see clearly into the past,
No, I'm okay.
the present.
I just need to take off my gloves, probably.
So nobody needs to tell you that you are a prophet or not. You don't need to force these shoes. Just ask yourself, is your eye of Heru functional? Because if your eye of Heru is not functional, then you are no prophet, you are no seer, even if you shout on top of the mountain and sit with your legs apart, you will never. Yes, that's Esperanza. You can. It is impossible for you to dream about the future if your eye of Heru is blocked. So if you dream of the future, just know. And guess what? We have so many. Do I want to live in a limbo of doubt, self-doubt forever, or do I want to accept this particular gift? Because ancestors ancestors will never open a door that you don't knock at. Closed mouth never get fed. Closed mouths never get fed. So I'm going to continue. Recording of history enables and activates the eye of Heru, while erasure and destruction of history destroys and takes away the power from the eye of Heru, and that is what Set did in his confrontation with Heru. Listen, I'm going to tell you. So during the confrontation between Set and Heru, why did Set dig out the eye of Heru? Set dug out the eye of Heru because Heru targeted his testicles and to ensure that he never reproduces. So when Set was fighting with Heru was targeting Set's testicle to make sure he never has children to continue to future generations. Because of this, Set became so mad and dug out the eye of Heru. So I'm telling you this so that you see it happening in our timeline. I want you to see it happening in our timeline. Because some people ask, why did the white man ban the black man's history? Why did they destroy the black man's history? So much that the black man spent a whole time being shunned from knowledge, being shunned from knowing how to read and write. Because that is the war that has always occurred. Because of this, the war of population. If black man stays aware and the world stays aware of the black man, then the world will soon become black. And Set will no longer have descendants. It is mandatory, guys. It is mandatory. It is mandatory. So the preservation of whiteness, the preservation of whiteness is what caused the destruction of the eye of Heru. Children that are going to come back here with all the knowledge that was lost. And as they raise those children are going to walk in the shoes of their great ancestors that have ever walked this. One of the reasons why I always teach women, real estate, please, make sure you sell the ancestral real estate properly to the deserving people so that you bring back the ancestors that you lost in your own lineage and bloodline. In your own bloodline, bring back the ancestors that were lost. And you can already see some women are already doing it. There are women who come from misery and poverty and ignorance, and then they give birth to children. They heal, they break generational cycles, and then they give birth to children who literally awaken their entire lineage. Children who are respected by their entire lineage. Children who, when their entire lineage look at, they cannot recognize because they look divine, like they come from another timeline. So that is how to restore. Black women, black men, nobody's ever going to bring the history that was lost. The books were thrown into the ocean, and most of them were burnt. The libraries were destroyed. The names of the cities were changed. The maps were turned upside down. Nobody's ever going to come and admit to you that, oh, now let's turn the map back. No, it is the children that you're going to give back to that are going to restore. Only Hathor has the ability to do that particular restoration. Remember, Hathor is the deity that travels between realms. It is only her thought, and that's why I'm always telling you. Last time when we were on OnlyFans, I told you, when you go shopping for children, shop for children that are going to come back here and restore. Don't go shopping for mediocrity that is going to come here to destroy or do nothing for your bloodline. Where can I get the video of them throwing the books in the ocean? I've been looking. It is there somewhere. You know, those things are very hidden, but I'm sure you've seen it before. That's why you're looking for it. Me personally, I think I've seen it, but I did not keep it. It is there somewhere. Just keep calling it. You know, knowledge, the truth has its own spirit. You keep calling on the truth, it will find you. The truth has its own spirit. Even right now in the era of misinformation, there's a lot of misinformation that is happening. Call the truth. The truth is like a human being. It is like Swirinyakano, find me. The truth will find you. Tell the truth. The truth. Find me, and the truth will always find you. You only have to open your mouth and seek. Knock and the door shall be open. So even right now in the era of misinformation, I want you to normalize calling for the truth, because people misinform. APEP is very active. You remember when I told you guys about APEP? APEP is very active. APEP feeds on ignorance. APEP feeds on the absence of truth. When the truth is not available, APEP is there. So if you want the truth, call on the truth and the truth will find you. That one I will tell you for free. There's no other way about it. We are now entering into very spiritual timelines where now every man for himself, God for us all. If you want to live by the truth, call on to the truth and the truth will find you. Those who don't call on to the truth will interact with APEP. And remember, APEP is illusion. When you bank on APEP, you bank on APEP for 12 months, February comes and you're cut off. You bank on APEP for 12 months, February comes, you're cut off. That is the negativity of not living by the truth. When you go around believing lies and rumors about people, your petrol will always be taken away when the time hits. You believe a lie about someone, just know that that petrol that you're riding on is going to be completely snatched under your feet when the time hits, because time always hits. It's only the truth that stands. And this is why I'm always telling you, don't worry about fake people. You have no business. Everybody has a space. There's enough space for everybody, even the fake ones. But now the question is, will your fakeness stand the test of time? Because even faking life, you cannot fake life forever. There's a particular time when now test comes. You get into the examination, you hit retrograde. And that is where you see everything that is fake falling and everything that is true standing. You tell the tree by the fruits it produces. You tell somebody is authentic. Remember, authenticity is the tree of life. Authenticity is the tree of life that grows from the clouds down. I've explained this before. So if you want to know the truth, wait to see the type of fruits that is produced from a particular authenticity. If it is not producing any fruits, know that there is no authenticity, it's fake. So you tell the tree by the type of fruits it produces. This is why I always tell spiritual people, don't do it. Some people, they make it at their business that some people are fake. In fact, they make it bother them so much. Those fake ones, they're also doing the spiritual work. They also wanna answer the fake ones. The fake ones belong with the fake ones. So they are there, they are very important in order to mislead the fake ones. The fake ones are there to mislead the fake ones. And then the real ones are there to guide the real ones. So you, when you see a fake person, you should not even bother. Notice the fakeness and pass, because you know that a tower moment is coming. Let them build their tower. Let them build their tower. And the higher the tower is, the more painful the fall will be. The higher the tower is built, the more painful the fall will be. So let people be. Let people be, and you stick by your own truth. So I'll repeat. Hathor restoration of the eye of Heru is symbolic to women birthing back children from ancestral realms that embody the history that was erased by Set. the Eye of Heru or the Eye of Ra illustration. So this is the illustration. The Eye of Heru and the Eye of Ra, they are both left and right. And by the way, when you look at ancient Africans, I don't know whether I should show you. Let me show you one of the King Tutankhamun book. So when you look at a lot of African deities, you will realize that they always draw, the eye is always drawn eyeliner. I like to do it too. But me, sometimes I do it fully, sometimes I don't. But this, doing your eyes like this, is a very spiritual thing. Drawing your eyes like this is like the embodiment of Heru, the Eye of Heru and the Eye of Ra. So when you see ancient African deities, most of them, they used to do this. They used to line up their eye, like the, and even women as well. Some of the spiritual women of, yes, we do it, we are the same people. We are the same people. These people that lived in us, we were there when they were alive. They are now present in us as spirits that live on. So when you see, you know, people, meaning ancient Africans doing their eyes like this, is always like the embodiment of truth, to see the truth, the ability to see the truth, and it has meaning. And that those meanings are what I'm going to be telling you. So let me turn this color, this thing, so that you can see. Let me flip it so that you can see. So you can see here, this eyebrow represents thought. Thought, your ability to think, okay? So eyebrow, guys, even in our timeline, we draw our eyebrows, but different timelines have a different way in which they draw their eyebrows. Why? Because thoughts in different timelines are different. I will never advise you to tattoo your eyebrows. Never tattoo your eyebrows, because eyebrows keep changing. Thoughts keep changing, because as new truths come to the surface, the population keep changing their thoughts. And when the population keep changing their thoughts, if you go tattoo an eyebrow that is permanent, then you start to look different. And remember, library is important. Library is important. If you are in a timeline where drawing your eyebrows is difficult, just let it be. Guys, let it be. Just let your eyebrows be. Don't tattoo your eyebrows, because thoughts keep changing. With new information coming, thoughts keep changing. So if you tattoo your eyebrow in a particular timeline, and then new truths come to the surface, and then now you are stuck with that particular eyebrow, and then now you don't look like somebody who goes to the library. What is library? Libra Aries. Library is the combination of Libra and Aries. Libra is what? The swellings of the body, the nyash, balance. And then Aries is authenticity. Remember, Libra and Aries are the swollen parts of the body. So remember, Aries is authenticity, Libra is balance. So every time you go to the library, you're going to balance yourself to the authenticity of that particular timeline. And it is necessary, my friend. You know, I might be somebody who I come from the 13th century. And you might be somebody who comes from the 30th century or the 24th century. What makes us fit into the now is library. Ability to balance ourselves with the authenticity of that particular timeline. Are we together? So your eyebrows is your thoughts. And then we have this corner that is not near your nose. You see this corner of my eye? I have this black thing, and then I have this corner of my eye, and then I have this corner of my eye. So this corner that is near to your nose, it sees into smell. This corner that is near to your nose, it sees into smell. And then this corner that is near your ear, it sees into hearing. This one sees into smell, this one sees into hearing, this one sees into thoughts. And then you have this one that sees visuals. and this one is usually comes in different colors. You can have it in blue, you can have it in brown. Mine is very brown, but on TikTok you cannot see the real color of my eye. By the way, guys, on TikTok you don't see me for what I truly am. There are so many things that are cut off. You cannot see my aura on TikTok. So when you see me on TikTok, never think that you see me in my full glory. People who see me in real are usually shocked, because even the color of my eye is not this one that TikTok is portraying. So this is usually, some people have it in green, some people have it in hazel, of which I'll tell you the meanings. It has different meanings. And then there is this cheekbone. This one represents your cheeks. It represents your cheeks, which is the taste. It sees into taste. This one sees into taste. And then there is the tear part. This sees into touch. The tear part sees into touch. So let me. So the eyebrow represents thoughts. The eyebrow represents thoughts. The space towards the nose represents smell and your ability to discern. And then the space towards the ear represents, I hope it is visible. The space towards the ear represents your hearing. And then the place that forms your cheekbone is formed from this. Represents your taste of tongue. And then there is this that forms touch. It sees into touch. When you're touched, that's why you cry. That's why tears come out of your face, because you are able to be touched through this particular tear. And then there is the sight. This one is the one that sees visuals. It represents visuals. So the meaning of each, your eyebrow means that you can see into other people's thoughts, and your thoughts can also be seen as well. So through your eyebrows, when you want, let me now go back. I hope you guys have recorded it. Yes, the eye of Ra sees all thoughts. It sees all the senses. So now, your eyebrows means that you can see into other people's thoughts. Anytime you see somebody's eyebrows, it is telling you about their thoughts. There's no two way about it. The way people do their eyebrows is telling you how they think. There's no two way about it. So and then there's the camouflage, like of doing. I've muted. But I'm not muted. Somebody is asking, what does thick versus thin eyebrows mean? So listen, there are different timelines where the women have different types of eyebrows, especially women. Men never change, like men rarely change their eyebrows. There are times when women think, and then there are times when women are not even allowed to think. Like there's an eyebrow trend in Europe where women used to shave all their eyebrows. There was no eyebrow anymore. If you live in a timeline where you are not allowed to think as a woman, it will naturally make those women to develop a beauty standard of shaving off their eyebrows. If women live in a timeline where they are not allowed to think as much, they just think kidogo, you don't think too much, then you will see that line of eyebrows. And then there is a timeline like ours where you are allowed to, think as much as you want. You're allowed to. Our beauty standards, the way we do our makeup, everything, it is always telling the library of the timeline that we are on. Never think that it's a coincidence. The people is God. What the people are doing is what God is doing. So there are certain timelines where even God is demonic. The people become demonic. And there are certain timelines where God is very angelic, when the people become very angelic. And remember, demonicness is the absence of God. I like thin eyebrows. Yes, it means you don't like overthinking. We live in a timeline where we've normalized overthinking. And that's why, our eyebrows tend to be thicker. Like literally, women overthink in this timeline. And it is necessary, because it is a timeline of overthinking. We have to overthink. Because we come from a timeline of deception. A timeline where, there's a lot of politics. People are lying. So overthinking has become the norm. And then there are timelines where you don't need to think too much. You don't need to think too much, just a little and it's enough. Just a little and it's enough. So that thin eyebrow, it represents that. And then there's a timeline where certain women, they shave off all the eyebrows. No thoughts. And then there are people who dye their eyebrows, changing the color of their thoughts. When you see somebody dyeing their eyebrow, know that they want to change the color of their thoughts. Okay, let me continue. So your eyebrows mean you can see into other people's thoughts, and your thoughts can also be seen as well. So most of the time when people are talking, you see like people doing so you can tell what somebody is thinking by how they are shifting their eyebrows. Now the space, this space that is next to the nose, this space. The space towards the nose mean you can smell and discern people's behaviors and adjust your proximity accordingly. Vice versa is also true. The inner corner also means that your own behavior can be seen by other people, and they can, when they are aware. Remember, we have drunkards, we have people who are not even aware of what is going on. So the more aware you are, the better for you. When you are aware, you can see into people's behaviors and adjust your proximity accordingly. You can smell the coffee. You can smell their behavior. You can smell their character and adjust your proximity accordingly. Now, sharpening it. Ancient Africans love to sharpen it. Sharpening this particular point. And especially with women, I don't know whether there's a woman's nini here. I have certain picture. Oh God, I think this one can show as well. Oh, you can already see it. So you see this? Sharpening this area here, it just sharpens your discernment as well. When you have a characteristics of sharpening that place, or if you see people who have a characteristics of sharpening that place, know that it enhances and it sharpens also your ability to discern people's behaviors and characteristics. So that you are, somebody's asking, Mwalimu, what of having moles around your eye? If you have moles around your left eye, please, your ancestors are telling you, your eye of Heru is very active. You can see into the future, you can see into the past. There's something special about the way you see through your intuition. And if it is your memory, then it's also telling you the way you analyze. The way you analyze using your eyes. You are the same person who, when people show you piece of art, you can read the energy in that particular art. You can, the way you see when it comes to analysis and memory is very sharp. I have a mole on my left eyebrow. When you have a mole on your left eyebrow, it's talking about your left thoughts. Your intuition, when it comes to how you think intuitively, there's something special about how you think intuitively. There's something special. And guys, when I talk about this moles thing, some people, you think, some people, they want to be unique. You are unique. Some people, they want to be unique so much that when they hear that, oh, I have a mole on my eyebrow and somebody else has it too. Oh, now I don't want, because now it makes us, we are both unique. You are both unique, but you might be unique and you are aware, and somebody else might be unique and they are not aware. So even our ancestors, they give us these abilities because they know some people will tap into the ability, some people will not. Remember, only those who knock the door will be open. Only those who open their mouth shall be fed. So even if you have moles everywhere and somebody else has it too, you focus on yourself and focus on your specialties. Don't be like, oh, I'm a Pisces and somebody else is 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 a Pisces. It is too cliche. No, don't be like that. Don't be like that. You focus on your own, because you are special on your own and you can expand to levels. There is a pyramid to be climbed, and not everybody has the petrol to climb that pyramid. So never write yourself off just because you're many. Yes, there is room for everyone. Never write yourself off just because you are many. You focus on yourself and move, because I'm telling you, not everybody has the ability to wake up every day and work on themselves. And sometimes you might think that, oh, we are too many, we are too many, we are too many. Now I'm not going to be special anymore. Omera, that is what all the others are saying. And some of them, they are not even awake to know what they have. They have it today because their ancestors put it in them so that they can pass it on to their descendants that are coming 100 years later or 20 years later. Some people will not wake up in this timeline. And they have those markings just so they can pass it to their descendants. Because their ancestors knew and put it like that. So don't worry about other people having the things that you have. Focus on comprehending the things that you have and moving forward using them. Let them help you climb life. What did you say about moles that are growth but not cancerous? Now, if you have a mole that is a little bit swollen, then that is a warning. It's like a pimple. That is just telling you to be more careful. Like, for example, let's say you have a mole on your neck and it's a little bit swollen. Your ancestors are telling you that they had a tendency of not supporting themselves sometimes. So you have to always remember to support yourself. So that's why that mole has to swell. Now, if the mole is just on the surface, then your ancestors are telling you that on default, you are supportive of yourself. Whether you like it or not, you will always support yourself. But then if that mole is a little bit swollen on your neck, then your ancestors are telling you that you have a tendency of forgetting to support yourself sometimes. But when you decide to support yourself, it's very impactful. But you have a tendency of maybe sometimes you forget or sometimes you want to give up. So you have to go hard and always remember to always support yourself. Yeah. So some people, they only carry these moles as vessels who are delivering it to future generations. While some people, they carry these moles to utilize them now. So you decide for yourself. Don't fall into the bandwagon. Somebody remind me about the mole on the eyebrows. The way you think, if the mole is on your left eyebrow, then the way you think when it comes to your intuition is very special. There's something special about the way you think when it comes to your intuition. And then when it comes to your memory, the way you think when it comes to your memory, if it is on the right eyebrow, there's something special about it. And when you have a mole somewhere, you are not somebody who, you should have a little bit of kiburi. Have a little bit of unicorn energy. Have a rhino energy when you know you have a mole somewhere. Don't let people move you like, especially people who don't have moles in those places. If you know you have a mole, like let's say on your right eyebrow, then trust your thoughts when it comes to memory. Trust how you remember things when you're thinking. When you have a mole on your left eyebrow, trust how you think intuitively deep down within yourself. If you have a mole on your neck, trust how you support yourself. You are the type of person who people will don't have more internal validation. You got it in. Example of why kiburi is important. Let's say I am a fashion designer. I sew clothes. I am the one who knows my potential. Okay? Deep down from the way I'm thinking that this is not my down, I'm not ready for next in fashion, I'm going to flop as fuck. Like, for example, I have moles here on my mouth. How many times have people told me, I don't like the way you talk, I don't like the way you talk, I don't like the way you talk. And yet it is my mouth that literally connects me to the ancestors of people. If I was somebody who was a people pleaser, I would shut up and listen to people who don't even have moles in their mouths. Tell me how to speak. Some people, even somebody was telling me, oh, you need speech therapy. And they don't have a mole in their mouth. Hapo ndo madharau. Huwa inas on your feet is either Aquarius energy or Pisces energy. Memo that's the third eye. All seeing, the connection between your left and your eye of Ra and your eye of Heru Mari. What's near my lips? Lips is desire, self-desire. And the ability to cast spells. If you have moles on your tongue, black dots on your tongue, you're very toxic. In a good way and also in a bad way. You're somebody who, what you say to someone, your words can kill someone, or your words can make someone heal from disease. If you have moles on your tongue. You are right, and the way you record memories. You are somebody. Act. Your ability to believe that you are beautiful. Find the beauty in you. Please. Mimi, if you think you are ugly, if you're somebody who you think you are ugly, you are the worst to your ancestors. Because all of us, we come here for a fashion show. And your ancestors, you see the way Chidinma represented Nigeria, Mialo represented South. Madil authenticity is authenticity. Horrors, how Heru are useless. So how to strengthen your authenticity or your self-belief is just be authentic. Support yourself. The connection between your ability to think, your support your intuition, my dear. That's what I'll tell you. And then one on my lap with your thighs. Adventure, travel, travel, travel. The way you travel. Comes from intuition. Mole on your right arm. Trust your thought, how you record memory. Trust how you record memory. For example, Nala, you are the type of people who, when you go to become a witness in court, everything that no lawyer should make you doubt how you recorded your memory. Trust how you record your memory, because there's something special about it. How about birthmarks? Birthmarks, they work the same way as moles, but now birthmarks, they come in shape. So it's usually showing a particular shape. When you have a birthmark, I want you to focus on the shape of that birthmark and remind yourself, if you ever see something that reminds you of the shape of your birthmark, there's a relationship. There's a quantum entanglement. For example, some people, they have a birthmark of the map of Africa. Some people, they have a birthmark of the map of the most powerful on land. So the woman in me is the most powerful on land, and I'm always supported by the women. Elephant is always there to tell you about the divine feminine energy. The mole on my left part so palms have a lot of information that I cannot get into now. Somebody is talking about the jaw. If you have a mole on your jaw is all about your ability to speak for yourself. Like people who have very defined jaws are people who can speak for themselves. So the way you speak for yourself, remember when you're speaking, it's always your jaw is the one that is moving. The upper part doesn't move, it's always your jaw. The way you support yourself intuitively. There's something special about how you support yourself intuitively. Yes. The mole on your breast, by the mole on your breast shows how you feel. Your right breast, how you feel, how you memorize feelings. Your left breast, how you intuitively feel. How you memorize feeling and how you intuitively feel. Something special about it. Something special about it. Mole on my mole only appeared in 24 hours and yes, when your mole appear, yes, moles appear. When your mole appear and moles disappear. So for example, if you have a mole on your neck, get a mole, thank, because it is a gift. It is showing you that you've worked and achieved. Near vagina, your self-desire. The way you desire yourself, there's something special about your divine feminine energy. Dig more into it. Guys, you've gotten me out of my topic. Where was I? So, the space towards the ear. I was in the space towards the ear. Oh my God, the mole on my left palm appeared and disappeared. When it comes to palm, we'll talk about the palm. Armpit. Armpit is all about thoughts, especially thoughts. By the way, your armpit is the storage of thoughts. Not just your own thoughts, but also thoughts that other people have about you. So let me even tell you about armpit is the where even smell comes from. So guys, remember, smell in witchcraft, smell is a defense mechanism. So people who are supposed to be in your life, people who are supposed to love you, people who you are supposed to love, they will naturally love your smell. It doesn't matter what the smell is like, they will love it. And then people who have negative thoughts about you, people who have demonic thoughts about you, they will hate your smell. And every time they think about you, there is a smell that will come. So maybe I am here in Kenya and my hater is in Egypt. If they are, I'm not now talking about smell. If you are seated and your armpit starts to smell good, there are people who are talking about that is thinking about you. And you can solve this by immediately go and wash off the energy. When you start to hear your armpit smelling bad, go wash it off immediately. It will shift them immediately. This is witchcraft now. When your armpit starts to smell, know that somebody is having demonic thoughts about you, and you can fix it. That person can start having good thoughts about you immediately if you go and fix it. Go wash it. Go pour some flowers there. Like, go make sure that it is now smelling good. Reverse immediately. And when those people were thinking about you or were talking about you in a negative way, somebody will start like, oh, but you're lying. Oh, but I think this way. Oh, but whatever. You can fuck with people like that. That's how you control energies. That's how you, but if you let it, if your armpit is just smelling, and you just let it, you don't do anything about it, it's like you're encouraging them to go on. You're encouraging them to go on. And they will do it so bad that you will even start developing a boil. Anytime people are shifting your energy, you feel it. And your body tells you, because your body is capable of being in different rooms at once. God is omnipresent. God is omnipresent. So anywhere that your name is being mentioned, your body is omnipresent there. And your body is telling you. You will start coughing. You will start having different issues. So when these things happen, this is why prayer is important. When these things happen, you fall into prayer. prayer, you fall into remedy immediately. If I get boils on your armpit, if you get boils on your armpit, literally demonic thoughts. Like people are having, there are people who are hell-bent on having demonic thoughts about you. You need to fix that. And this is what I'm telling you, don't wait until it gets to a boil. Wash off immediately. Wash off immediately. Wash off immediately. When you smell your armpit and you hear it smelling, rush to the washroom. And this is why women, you need to walk with. Women are always carrying a bag. Inside that bag, carry things that you can fix your armpit with. You can even carry a soap inside your bag. So that anytime you hear your armpit starts to smell, you don't need to. Deodorant is terrible. Deodorant is terrible. In fact, it is like an invitory letter. It's like an invitation letter. Most of this, and it's when doing remedies is mandatory. Just do remedies and tell them, no matter whatever you're saying, I kashifu you mwanze kuniongea vizuri. Anzeni kuniongea vizuri ama mwanze kupigana hapo. Huko kwenye mko mwanze kupigana hapo. Ama mwanze kuniongea vizuri ama mnyamazi. Those are the things you do and it goes straight. They do it to you and then you do something, you know, action, reaction, and then now let the best win. If they are persistent, you be persistent too. Yeah, you can use scented oil, flowers. You can use whatever is comfortable with you. Just never ignore. Whenever your armpit starts to smell, never ignore. Stand up immediately, even if you are in the middle of eating, and then you hear your armpit smelling, because your body will always take your nose there. Stand up, go to the washroom, wash it up, because the more you stay, the more you ignore, the more they are continuing. A pet energy is continuing. The more, and remember, a pet energy will affect you if you're not spiritually protected. A pep energy, people who are, and what is a pep energy? Just like I told you, when people don't know the truth about you, they will still talk, and some people will even make up lies just to fit in. Guys, me, I have experienced that. When I was in university, I remember there was a certain girl I was a roommate with, and this girl, nothing ever happened between us. Like, we were just like, hey, bye, hey, bye, hey, bye. I was not a roommate, as in we were in the... So, find remedies immediately, you know, so that somebody else starts to say, oh, which trouser? Does she wear it? And then now they will start like, oh, no, I think and then no more truth, like they're lying. Everybody will now see that, oh, you are lying. So always just do these things. Just do these things. It will save you a lot. There are small practices you do at the comfort of your house, at the comfort of your own personal space, but they go a long way. You'll never know how long way they go. So the person who asked the question about the armpit, thank you so much, because I needed to say that. Yeah. And then, can I continue ritual to protect yourself and your business. There's a lesson that is coming on that. I think we'll do it in February. If it is not February, it's March. There's a topic about protection. So we'll have it. There's a topic about protection we'll have. Yeah, guys. Red blender, yeah. A pepper energy affects. Even if they're talking shit and it is not true, it will affect you. So you need to also always pray. This is why praying is important. Because you don't know, people will talk shit just to fit in. People will find people slander in your name, and you've never interacted with them, you've never done anything to them, but they will want to say something just to fit into that particular category because they've waited so much. So a pep energy is real. Don't fall for it. What about when your right hand gets numb all the time? Memory. Now there's your left hand getting numb, which means there are entities that are working against your intuition becoming true. And then when it is your left hand, there are entities that are working against your memories becoming true. So what do? Shake well before you move. Always exercise. When you find a certain part of your body is becoming numb, it means there's stagnant energy. That energy is stagnant. There are entities that are stagnating that energy so that it doesn't move. For example, when it comes to your intuition, maybe I come here and I say, out of my intuition, I say that, oh, Obama is going to die next week. And then Obama starts to work so hard to make sure that death doesn't happen, that death doesn't happen. So if that death was supposed to be true, and they're working against it, it will make my left hand very numb. Same with memory. Maybe you told somebody that you are going to buy a car, and they're working hard. May they not buy that car. May they not buy that car. So it will stagnate that energy, and it applies to all parts of your houses. So whenever a house is numb, exercise. Then me and Sunshine and more who are talking shit about you, we are going to feel the retaliation. So it depends who is stronger. If the lovely is stronger than us, then the retaliation is going to affect us so much that we are going to think that the lovely is doing witchcraft on us. We'll be like, why did I just have an accident while I was talking about the lovely? Because the lovely is more powerful than us. But then if we are more powerful than the lovely, then we will just make the lovely shrink. We will change everybody's perspective about the lovely. We will make everybody hate the lovely. We will make sure that the lovely is now our puppet. And the way we want her life to run is how it will run. Are you getting my point? Are you getting my point? Cham, what dream do you want to talk about me again? Yes, so always know that your body is always revealing to you the truth. Just that, are you aware? Are you present? So that you do the necessary action that is required to reverse. So Flavie is asking, how about having a headache? Your authenticity. Somebody is against you being authentic. If you constantly we have headaches, that is a set under attack. You being authentic, somebody is looking at you like, or they're talking shit about your authenticity. Every time you display your authenticity is irritant to them. Now you have to make sure that you reverse. You have to make sure that you leave you be authentic so much that you tell them, all of them, well, Kwenda, I will still be authentic. But then, if you have researchers that maybe you also judge your own authenticity, then it penetrates you. If you are trying to be authentic, but also you are embarrassed, you are shy about being that authentic, then people who talk shit about your authenticity are going to win. But if you are just authentic and you tell them, Omera, I will be authentic whether you like it or not, then the headache will go back to them. Because guess what? They are against your authenticity because they can't be authentic. And you being authentic is a threat to them. That's why they are bad mouthing or sending negative energy towards your authenticity. So you just have to be tough-headed. Be so tough-headed. Be so authentic that and one way to be very authentic is to be autonomous. Seek no validation from anybody. Because guess what? The people that ruin you are the people you're close to. The people that know you. Those are the ones that have power over the parade. It's always a parade. So when your ear starts to ring, stop. What were you thinking about? What move were you making? What feelings were you on? Because there's something about it. Ringing is always Eluagogo, Eluagogo, Eluagogo. Ring the bell to summon spirits. You summon yourself to focus on a particular thing that you are thinking about. Oh, the daughter of Mumbi, not today for that one. Oh, this Sunshine asked something that I didn't see. Yeah, so true. My roommate doesn't want me to get my own place. Yeah, when you see people being a certain way towards you, adjust your proximity, guys. I'm telling you, this adjusting proximity will save you a storm. Because the things you ignore in the beginning are the things that are going to explode in the end. So never stop when you see in the beginning there's an issue, know that that issue that is in the beginning is the one that if you ignore will expand and Jupiter and magnify and become even a bigger issue. Talk about getting abortion is just changing your mind. Daughter of Mumbi, getting abortion is just changing your mind. Your ability to change your mind. Now some people change their minds on a good thing, and some people change their minds on a bad thing. That's upon you at a personal level to know. Did you change your mind on a good thing, or did you change your mind on a bad thing? If you change your mind on a bad thing, you are supposed to feel relief. If you change your mind on a good thing, it will haunt you for the rest of your life. So it's upon you to know, did I change my mind on Mansa Musa, or did I change my mind on a useless villager who was going to be a drunkard? and continue accumulating karma for my generation. You have to know that is an individual case. So I've got such a bad feeling about my best friend, but like there's no reason. Omera, as long as you've gotten the feeling is in the vicinity. Hey, I don't know how far I will tell you this, guys. As long as you got the feeling is in the vicinity. God is omnipresent. When somebody is meant for you, when somebody is good for you, you will never get demonic thoughts about them. You will not. There's no need. Ancestors will not knock the door and tell you, tap, tap, tap. There is a green snake on a green grass. So there is a green snake on a green grass. So when your ancestors keep saying, there is a green snake on a green grass, so they will start like this. The ancestors will start like this. There is yeah, you just, because sometimes, let me tell you the beauty about listening to your intuition. Your intuition will never land you in trouble. It's either your intuition is right or it is wrong. When it is right, thank God you've escaped. When it is wrong, then that person will show their true colors and you will see that they're an angel, and then you will notice that, oh, my intuition is compromised. Why? Probably from trauma, probably from fear, because I've interacted with a particular person before that reminded me of this person, and that is the reason why I was doubting them. And then when that happens, you apologize in private. The beauty about not exposing your intuition is that you don't need to apologize in public. You apologize in private and you continue with your life. You've learned your lesson and you've let go of the trauma that was making you, repeat a cycle. So you've broken the cycle. You've seen that, oh, maybe it was me. Maybe your ancestors were telling me Sulinyarkano is a demonic individual. Sulinyarkano is a demonic individual. Sulinyarkano is a demonic individual. And then you followed your intuition. And then one day you realize that, oh, she's actually not demonic. Then you will know that, oh, why was I thinking she was demonic? Or probably because I've interacted with her so and so who was demonic and she resembles Sulinyarkano so much. So you break that cycle and you know that, oh, there are people who exist like this who are not like the person I interacted with. But then if your ancestors are telling you Sulinyarkano is demonic, Sulinyarkano is demonic, and then you wait and you see the demon come out, then you tell your ancestors that, oh, I knew it. Taurus, thank you very much, my ancestors. Taurus. So the moon. So shall I continue? Let me continue, please. So the space towards the ear means that energy from outside can enter into your inner world by you just looking. And energy from you can also enter into other people's world. So this space here, this space that you usually take your eyes. Remember this visual. Sometimes you take this visual, when you take it here, I don't know whether it's going. And then you can take it also here. So this particular space shows that outside energies can enter into your world. The same way your world can be entered by outside energy. So sometimes just looking at people in the eye can make energies move out of them into you. Please, always stay aware. And you can also transfer energy from yourself into people by just looking at them. That's why African mothers, sometimes when you have your own African mother and you are at a funeral or in church and you are misbehaving, your mother will give you a look and you will just know hell has broken loose. I am going to suffer when we go back home. Because there is a way in which you can transfer energy from yourself into people just by looking at them. You don't need to say anything. You just look, and now the energy has jumped from you into them. Now, the chameleon shape, this chameleon tail shape, this one that shows the cheek. The chameleon shape of the tongue shows that you can cast a spell into someone else's life by them just looking at you. And spells can also be casted into your own life by you just looking at someone. So you can just look, it applies to the same as hearing. You can cast spells into other people's lives by just looking, Spells of love, spells of whatever. You know, like prostitutes know it so much. They utilize the eye of Heru. By then, prostitutes use the eye of Heru more than anybody. Me, I have friends who are prostitutes. I'll tell you that for free. They can see. One thing about prostitutes is you have to have the eye to see people, into people's souls, so that you don't waste your time going with people who are useless. So there is a way in which spells can be casted by just people looking at you. Even your photos on this internet, my friend, because some people, you think that people have to access you to have issues with you or to do things to you. Even just your picture on the internet, your videos on the internet, people can do a lot with that. Now, the tear on the eye means that you can be touched. That you can touch someone by just looking at them, and also they can touch you by just looking at you. So know that the eye is very powerful. There's a lot, you can do everything with just looking. With just looking, you can do everything. Now, the shape, the color of the eye. Like mine here, can you see mine looks black, right? But the people who will meet me in person will tell you the color of my eye. It only looks like this on TikTok, I think, because, you know, TikTok has its own aesthetic. No wonder we were told eyeliners are for prostitutes. The prostitutes, they have an eye to see into the soul. They can see into your soul. Yeah, the iris. It can be black, it can be blue, it can be green, brown. And this means black represents infinite visual. When you see somebody with black, the iris is black. It's called the iris. When you see somebody with the iris that is black, know that they have infinite. They've seen everything on the planet. And most of the time, it's South Sudan people that have that color. I'm not saying that it's only South Sudanese, but other people have it too. But predominantly, it's mostly South Sudan that have that black color of the iris, to show that the ancestors saw everything. And it applies because the ancestors are travelers. They've been everywhere. They've traveled everywhere on the planet, and they've seen everything. So when you come from an ancestor that has seen everything that exists, you will have a black iris. And then there's blue iris representing emotional visuals. If you see people with blue iris, they've seen a lot of emotional shit. They've seen a lot of water-based shit. They've seen some deep emotions happening or culminating. They come from ancestors that have seen emotions in their rawest form. Now, when you see people with green, then it represents they've seen wealth. Those ones have seen wealth in all its colors. They come from ancestors who have seen wealth in all its forms. When you see people with gray represent old, wise souls. People with gray iris, they've seen very wisdom. They've walked paths of wisdom. Their ancestors walked paths of wisdom. And then there is the brown, which is majority of Africans. Now brown representing origins. These are people who have seen origins of the planet. They've seen the origination of the planet, where the planet started from. So now, The part of the eye that has disease represents the deterioration that comes with. The part of the eye that has disease represents a deterioration when it comes to that part of the eye. The blind have a sole path of developing their brains. If you see somebody is blind, then know that their brain needs work. The universe closes your eyes if your brain needs to see. Because when the brain is blind, the eye cannot see. So people who come from ancestries that did not develop the brain, did not work with the brain, and left the brain to be blind, they come blind in the eye so that they are given a chance to develop the brain. Blindness is a gift to develop the brain because the ancestors before probably did not do as much when it comes to developing that. Same way with the people who are born with no hands, they come here to develop thinking for themselves because probably their ancestors did not use their hands at all. So that is what it is. And developing the brain comes from feeling. So when people who are blind, they are developing a sense of feeling in the dark. It's like walking in the dark. So that is what it is. Otherwise, guys, we've reached almost to an end of our class today. I just wanted to talk to you about the eye of Heru. But before I leave, I'm going to tell you the next class is going to be the lymphatic system and diseases plus their spiritual meaning. So I'm going to compile as many diseases as possible. But so far I've already compiled two. There are two people who asked me about certain diseases, and I think one of them is here. I think it's Dillon Forever. I think you asked me a question about a particular disease. So I'm going to compile I'm going to compile like 40 diseases with their spiritual meanings, and I'm going to try and compile as popular diseases as possible. Yeah, I'm going to compile as popular diseases as possible. If you have a particular disease you want me to cover, just inbox me, just write it on my inbox, so that in the next class I come with that and we move on from there. But before I leave, guys, there's a woman who started a TikTok university.
Ooh.
I don't know, it's called Hillman Talk University. Have you guys heard about that? Have you guys heard about Hillman Talk University or something? Guys, inbox me it, because I cannot record it now. Yeah, Dr. Burlow. So I think that is what the black woman is birthing next. I told you when Seth gets on his throne, now the black woman is going to birth a belief system that everybody, the whole world is going to follow. And I think it's education. I think education is what now all of us are going to have to follow, because we have to bring back the eye of Heru. And me, I'm just glad that I'm already, I even said that, yeah, I also like looked for a class and I found a page to teach me midwifery. It is in my blood. Midwifery is in my blood, but I want to also learn it. I want to go to the library and balance myself with our timeline. But I love the idea, and I love the fact that I'm also here with my own class, and then they're also like, find your way in education. Find your way around education. Degrees are useless already. Right now, it's either you come with the skills or you get out. Nobody cares about the degree that you obtained. And you know, a lot of degrees have been useless because they've been giving us degrees that are not useful. So study. Go to these schools. I would encourage you to go to those schools. I'm also going to the ones that are useful to me. Go to schools that are useful to you. And let's continue. Sweetie, I have a problem focusing on one. I have trouble focusing on one. You've not even left your parents' house, Dilo. Don't be in a hurry. How old are you, by the way? If you don't mind. If you mind answering, don't answer. Come answer me on my inbox so that we talk. But how old are you? Because I feel like you are in that age where I don't think you are even, look. 18? Relax. Please. Me, at At 18, I did not even know anything. Reach 24 and then come we talk, my dear. By the time you reach 24, Jupiter will come and tell you, baby, this. For now, explore. Do everything. Be everywhere. Be all over the place. Please. You're still very young. Relax. I know you are here with big people, but don't be intimidated. Relax. 18 is so small. Exactly. Yeah, you still have 6 years to be an adult. To get into the wilderness. So relax, baby, relax. And you are lucky to be here at that age.
Mm-hmm.
Medusa is only 22. Relax. People who have not reached 24, relax. And the people who have reached 24 and above, they'll tell you. There's no need to hurry. There's no need to rush. Slow touch. Eh? Yes, there's no need to rush, my dear. You have no obligation before you reach the age of 24. So organize your house, organize yourself. Don't even pressure yourself. You'll be fine. You are on the right track. You don't know where 18 years olds are who are not awake. Some of them are still breastfeeding. You are already here. So relax. You can be around. And one thing I'll tell you, even after you reach 24 years of age, you'll still stumble until Saturn returns. Saturn return is what marks the start of life, the start of responsibility. And guess what? Saturn returns when you are 27 years of age. So 20-something year olds, relax. Relax, Omera. If your Saturn has not yet even returned, I don't even wake up pale kwanza ucheze utata. Ka pale scroll kwanza. As you look for skills. Right now, what I can advise you to do is, tafadhali, do something with your hand. Learn to do something. If your mind is telling you to paint, get good at it. Do it every day. Do it every day. Harvest the 7 days. If you are 24 years and below, and your heart is telling you, learn some sewing, learn some video editing, learn some painting, learn some learn those things. Try and learn those things, the things that you're passionate about, and know that you are not in a hurry. Tuanze kutetemeka. Tukifika how old? By the time you are 27, Saturn returns. So after 27, kuwa ready. By the time you're 27, be ready with, I know how to sew. I know how to paint at least a little bit. I'm a makeup artist. Now I know how to makeup artist a little bit. I am this, I know how to this. By the time you're 27, have something in your hand. Pinks, I hope you do. By the time you're 27, have something that you can show Saturn that, hey, mama, this is what I did. Have something to present to Saturn by the time you are 27. Kuwa umerevise, exactly. Kuwa na kakitu, uko nayo kwa mkono. Kuna wengine, there are people who reach 27, they don't even know, have a skill that is demonic. That one I'll tell you for free. Don't reach the age of 27 if you don't know how to do anything. Demonic Saturn will come slap you with a disease. And I might say it jokingly, but doctors will tell you that most people, they get their first chronic illness at 27. Most people, they get their first chronic illness at 27, 28, 29, 30. That's when they go get diagnosed with fibroids. They go get diagnosed with some ill diseases. Why? Because Saturn, if you don't have anything to present Saturn will slap you, my friend. Disease. So discipline is important. If you are 24 years and below, or 27 years and below, kindly do the things your soul is telling you to do. Master the things your soul is telling you to master. Master the things your soul is telling you to master. Master the things your soul is telling you to master. Otherwise, my people, that's all that I had for you today. I appreciate you guys a lot. Let's drive through February. Those people who have been suffering, spiritual people who have been suffering, know that February is going to make things easier for you. If you are a spiritual person who has been working for God since September, know that February is bringing you a little bit of flowers, a little bit of ease. February is going to make your life a little bit easier so that you start planting in March. Somebody's saying, how do we reverse the Saturn slap? Now you have to do the things that you are supposed to do. When it comes to Saturn, when Saturn comes, that's why people hate Saturn. People hate Saturn because Saturn doesn't joke. It's a bell ring, it's the timekeeper. Saturn is the timekeeper. So now when Saturn comes, you have to, if you want to reverse the slap of Saturn, then you have to take extra hours. Take extra hours. You have to work in the night, work during the day, work during the night, work during the day. Just take extra hours to give yourself what you should have given yourself as 24, 22, 21, 18 when Saturn returns. Yes. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you guys so much. Yes. And let's continue with our lives. Let's continue with our lives. Let's continue with our lives. I will post this video as soon as I can. But other than that, I will try to download it today because downloading TikTok videos take time as well. So I'll try to download it today. But thank you so much and see you in another class at Hillman Talk University. That's where we're starting, Hillman Talk University. Yes, Flavie, I love you so much, Flavio Bono. Thank you, bye. Oh, somebody's gifting me. Let me not cut you. Thank you, Lily. Thank you, Stella. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you too. I love you guys too. T. Lily. Oh, Yamadesu, thank you. Yes, Wanja. Thank you. Yeah, so that's all. So thank you guys and see you next time. Nola. You don't want me to leave now? Okay, that's now let me leave. Let nobody